Hey, shalom, shalom. I want to start off by giving all praises unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Bahashem, Chakadash. I want to say double honors to our apostles, who are elders who rule well. Blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth and sincerity. Also, blessed salutations to the innumerable multitude and the wheat that are amongst tares, that's enduring truth and sincerity. So I wanted to get into this lesson, this quick breakdown of the term Shemitic or Semitic. We'll start off with anti-Semitic, because this is a term that's thrown around, and it gets a lot of mainstream people, athletes, singers, entertainers, politicians. If you say some so-called anti-Semitic, you normally get shut down, you normally get blackballed. There's a reason for that, but we're going to go into the word anti-Semitic. All right, anti is clearly against. So pretty much against anyone that's Semitic. That's an easy breakdown. So now let's deal with the word Semitic. Semitic, when you go to Wikipedia, very easy search in Wikipedia. And once you go to Semitic, and they'll tell you, it says, once you type in Shemitic, it'll pull up Semitic. And let's see here. Let's see if I brought this out. This my phone. Okay. I want to pull something up. So once you go to, you type in Shemitic, you can go to dictionary.com. It says the Hebrew belongs to a stock related language commonly called Shemitic because spoken mainly by the descendants of Shem. Okay. Let's see here. I'm looking for a particular one. It's not the dictionary.com. It should populate evenly, but there's a statement in also Wiktionary. All right, it says of or pertaining to Shem, the oldest son of Noah, and also once again, once you go into dictionary.com, they'll say pretty much Shemitic derives from the word Semitic. Now, once you go into Wikipedia, you'll see at the top that's going to be a first option. It says Semitic people. Semitic peoples, or Semitic cultures, was a term for an ethnic, cultural or racial group. The terminology is now largely obsolete outside the grouping Semitic languages in antiquities. So here's a key part in the second paragraph. Well, they give a reference, but I'll just get to the scriptures. It says, first used in the 1970s by members of the Göttingen School of History, this biblical terminology for race was derived from Shem, Hebrew for pretty much name or put. It says one of the three sons of Noah in the book of Genesis, together with parallel terms, Hamites and Japhetites. Okay, in archaeology, the term is sometimes used informally as a kind of shorthand for ancient Semitic speaking people. All right, so the main thing that Shem had, which language he spoke, was Hebrew. Okay, ancient Hebrew, not the modern Hebrew they speak today. Okay, so now that we got the lineage of Shem, let's I want to dig into or not Shem's lineage, but let's dig into pretty much Shem unto the people as of today. Pretty simple, get straight through it, just to clear the air, because people just throw this word around like it means something clearly what it doesn't mean. You know what I'm saying? They'll say, oh, it's anti-Semitic, and you be talking, most of the time you're talking to a person that's Semitic also, or Shemitic. All right, but either way, how you want to say it, Semitic, Shemitic, however you want to pronounce it, it's all the same word. All right, and that word goes, we prove through a simple Wikipedia read that his name goes back to Shem, All right, or Shem, which is the three sons of Noah, Ham, Shem, and Japheth. All right, so let's find out who's in the family of Shem that's prevalent as of right now that people call them anti-Shemitic. Okay, so I want to add this also. I was looking up, a little picture for post production, and I pulled up anti-Semitism, right? Googled it, and you go into the word anti-Semitism. Now, we already went into the base form of pretty much breaking it down. The word anti is against Semitism, or it's being Semitic. We proved this pretty much being from the line of Shem. But the Wikipedia definition for the specific word of anti-Semitism it says also spelled anti-Semitism is hostility to, prejudice, or discrimination against Jews. A person who holds such position is called an anti-Semite. Anti-Semitism is generally considered to be a form of racism. All right, so this shows how they did a new speak on a word, because if you English is a bastard language, their words are derived from all the other languages and is put together. And that word Semitism goes back to pretty much anti against, or ism is the study of, or to pretty much be in. So if you're into Semitism, that means you're of the line of Shem, or the line of Shem. Okay. If you practice anti-Semitism, that means you're going against the people that's of the line of Shem. That's the actual prefix and suffix and word itself breakdown. But Esau was writing a dictionary, a whole definition that is unrelative to the word in itself. That's how demonic this guy is, man. Okay, so I was just meditating, but you know what? We're just gonna go into it just to get a good foundation on it. So we're gonna go to Genesis chapter 10, verse 22. It says, "The children of Shem, Elam, and Ashur, and the Phaxad, and Lud, and Aram." Okay. First off, the children of Shem, you got Elam and Ashur. All right. And the Phaxad is one of the most prominent out of the three, but Ashur and Elam also. Okay. Then you go on, it says in verse 23, "And the children of Aram, Uz, Hul, and Gether, and Mash, and the Phaxad begat Salah, and Salah begat Eber, and Eber were born two sons. The name of the one was Peleg, for in his days was the earth divided, and his brother's name was Joktan." So it pretty much went from Shem to Joktan, and pretty much Peleg. You know what I'm saying? Or you could say Eber, Joktan and Peleg. Okay, so it went from Eber, which is known for Hebrew, because once you go into chapter 11, which we're going to go, it'll tell you that the earth spoke one language, and that word Ibar, Eber is Ibar, okay, which is of course is a Hebrew word, okay. I don't want to click on it because it'll take my phone out. It says, "And Joktan begat Almadad and Seleph." You know, it pretty much went all the way down to Jobab. All right, if you get to verse 29, it went on down to Jobab. So once you go into Genesis chapter 10, the very next chapter, and you could jump down to verse 10 and to get you where you need to be. It says, "These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old." Slakia, let me read verse 1. In 11 and 1, it says, "And the whole earth was of one language and of one speech, and it came to pass, as they journeyed from the east, that they found a plain in the land of Shinar, and they dwelt there." So the world was all in one language, and that language was Hebrew, okay? It says, "These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old, and begat a Phaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat a Phaxad 500 years, and begat sons and daughters, and Arphaxad lived 530 years and begat Shelah. So pretty much with the line of Arphaxad, you have Shem had three sons. All right, Aram, Arphaxad, Elam. Well, he had five. It was Aram, Ashur, Arphaxad, Lud, and Elam. All right, and through Arphaxad, you pretty much would get to Eber, or Ibar, which would lead you to his two sons, which is Joktan and Peleg. Okay, once you go through Peleg, you get down to Lot and Isaac. Lot had, from his line, he had Ammon and Moab, which is today's Chinese and Japanese. And then you had Isaac, and out of Isaac came Jacob and Esau. Pretty much Edomites, today's Caucasians or Shemites. Today's Arabs, they're Shemites. You know what I'm saying? Whether you could say East Indian or however you want to put it. They got the East Indians, they're Shemites. The Arabs, they're Shemites. Chinese, Japanese, Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, we are Shemites. Alright? Only people that could be anti-Semitic in that technical form of the word in itself are Hamites, which are today's Africans, and Japhites. Alright? That's your today's Samoans, Polynesian, people of that stock, man. So this word of talking about anti-Semitism is just a word to a fail-safe word, or a word that puts up a wall to defend them, in this invisible wall called anti-Semitism, man. Because the real people that they're protecting are the Amalekites, but at the same time they consider themselves or claim themselves to be Jews, and so they use that word anytime they do something wicked or evil, or somebody has a complaint against them, they'll scream out as anti-Semitism. Or you can, if you say something bad that they've done, you can't just say it's anti-Semitism. And again, a lot of the entertainers will yield to them, because guess who's paying and who's cutting their check? The richest people on planet Earth are from the stock of Amalek, man, which that come through the family of the Rothschilds. All right, which means red shield. All right. So I just wanted to put that out, man. Hopefully that was edifying. Say call hello to y'all. Bashim Yashai, Bashim Kokadash. The bonsai apostles, elders rule well. Blessed salutations to you brothers out there teaching and enduring truth, sincerity. Shalom.